What's up, Niagara? It's Matthew Morocco here at the Davidson Delot team, and here I have Harish Aggrawal. Harish,
Matt,
it's been a little while, my friend.
I haven't seen you in a bit.
I know.
Yeah.
What's been going on?
I'm very busy right now.
I know,
Matt.
I've heard.
Yeah.
We definitely discussed that on the phone a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, really, you know what? I guess we can start off by saying what it is that you're doing right now, and then maybe a little bit about how we got to know each other and how you got to where you are.
Okay, well, me and you go back a long, long way.
Yeah.
You would have been in the third grade. I would have been in the second grade. Niagara Falls Montessori School.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah, I do.
It was a private school that existed in Niagara Falls for like a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't there very long.
No.
But so we met at this private school. It was a Montessori school. I don't even really know what Montessori means. It has its own like definition of what it means to be a Montessori school. But
Yeah.
we met there all the way back when.
It was a long time ago. And then we went to high school together at St. Paul, Niagara Falls. And
Yep.
where did you go after that? Like, what did you get up to after high school at post-secondary school?
Yeah, so my interests were in the health sciences fields. I always liked business because my family was always in business, but I liked health sciences, so I went to Brock. I stayed at Brock University. I did medical sciences as my undergrad. While I was in my undergrad, you know, I kind of somewhat wanted to go into medical school. I somewhat wanted to go into business. I didn't quite know. So
You're
I
a smart kid.
I decided that maybe I'm going to stick around, do a master's degree. So I stuck around at Brock, did my master's degree in health sciences. While doing this, I actually spent 2 summers studying at Harvard. I think you knew that.
Yeah, I know, for sure, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard it's not a very easy school to...
No, I studied at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health.
Awesome.
So I spent 2 summers there studying biostatistics and epidemiology. So my interest kind of moved from the health, like the biological stuff, to the statistics and the administration side of health. Because then at that point, what I wanted to do was become a healthcare management administrator. So I wanted to run, a hospital of some sort.
Yeah.
All of this happening from my undergrad to my master's to my time in the summer at Harvard, I started a small business. Right? So while I was in my undergrad, I started a custom clothing business, right? Custom t-shirts, custom apparel, all that kind of stuff. And I would just do it in my spare time, right? Any extra time I would have, it would just be word of mouth. My first job ever was doing stuff for our old high school.
Yeah.
I thought in high school, we literally get hosed for spirit wear, for hoodies and team wear. So I thought, you know what, I'll do this and I'll make the kids not suffer like we did.
Yeah.
So I would offer really, really cheap and affordably
We were paying a
priced
fortune.
stuff.
It wasn't really
Crazy.
fair.
So that's really where it started, and then word of mouth.
Yeah.
Right? Teachers talk to other teachers, talk to other schools, and then, all of our friends, some of them have businesses. So it kind of just was a natural, organic progression in my spare time.
For sure.
While I still wanted to be a doctor of some sort. I ran that all through my undergrad and master's degree, and I just graduated last June. So what I figured was, before I want to go work for someone else and, maybe in the States or for a consulting firm, I'm going to give my own business a chance. Okay, I'm going to spend a year on it, trying to develop it, because if I can build it into something big, then why work for someone else?
Yeah, of course. Right. I think that's kind of everyone's dream, especially starting out in small business. Certain people just don't have the personality for it or the drive, and they prefer to go work somewhere else. But I mean, I've always known you as a pretty driven guy, and you're always a really smart guy as well. So it didn't surprise me at all when you first were telling me that you were interested in getting into that field and kind of taking that path.
Yeah, but you know what? From doing it in my spare time for like 7 years, I thought this could be a decent opportunity. If you can get the right client base, this could be a full-time job. Yeah. And I like doing it.
Yeah.
So I decided to give, since last June, give it a try full-time.
And
then what happens in March, right? The progress that I made up until then went absolutely shooting down.
Of course.
Which is to be expected, especially when all of my clientele are businesses and schools, which were completely shut down.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings me to where we are today.
Yeah.
Because in situations like that, when someone's new business that's just taking off goes to zero, right?
And I guess we never even really said. So essentially, tell everyone what it is that you're doing now.
Yeah, so that's where it stemmed. My clothing business went to zero because all of my clients weren't operating. So what I thought of is, why don't we take the same infrastructure that I've built in my custom clothing business? So, an automated website that allows the ordering, offering products from all across the country. Why don't we take that and do masks, customized face masks? So this idea came to me in early May after a couple months of, taking it easy, not doing anything. I thought, I'm going to make a new brand, a new project just dedicated to custom face masks and other custom PPE products, like customized floor stickers for businesses, or counter shields or face shields, all of this stuff. So I spent 1 month straight, and I mean every day for 15 hours, building a website, building an inventory.
It's not easy to do.
It was tough, but what else was I doing? Right? A lot of spare time in quarantine.
Well, everyone, I think, at first was a little bit worried about what it was, because you heard conflicting reports, right? Some people say like the death rate was under 1%. You hear other ones that it's 10%. You look at some of the stats and it appears like it's almost 20, and people were freaking out. And I think that obviously there is still quite a bit of that going on out there. And, there is still obviously a big cause for concern. I think it's calmed down a little bit. And as we kind of go forward, businesses like yourself that are providing some of this protective material that are going to help spread stop the spread of COVID-19, it's going a long way in helping people feel comfortable. But like, you have the masks, the shields, all of that stuff, and you kind of did a complete 180, right, from the apparel. And how has it been going so far?
So my original thought was, you know what, I'm going to build a new site, and that's what I did. I could have spent 6 months getting it made, but I built it myself every day for 15 hours. I thought, I'm also going to send out a flyer. Okay, I'm going to target Toronto. I'm going to send out 10,000 flyers. And just watch the orders come in. And that was in early June, and it didn't work out. Because I could have just let things go and pass by and not do anything, but I chose to, do it. I chose to do something new, jump on the horse, take advantage of this, and start a new business. So my first project, actually, the flyers, I didn't get much response. What I realized was I was actually too early. When masks started getting mandated and each cities started getting their own bylaws, that's when I saw my little website, which started off at maybe, 1 order every week or 1 order every 2 weeks. When they started making these announcements, I saw an absolute massive increase.
Well, for a while they were saying, like, I know a lot of the reports coming out of the States from the government, first they were saying everyone wear a mask. Then they were saying, unless it's an N95 mask, there's no point. Then it's everyone wear a mask. And it kept going back and forth for a while. So people probably were feeling a little bit of hesitation. They weren't sure if it was going to work or not. And I think it took a little time for people to get educated and really understand that it's not so much for yourself that you're wearing some of these products, but it's to protect other people as well.
So CustomPPE.ca was my new website. And it started off from, like I said, an order every week or two to up to like 10 orders a day. And I wasn't really doing much marketing. I wasn't doing much Google. I wasn't doing much Instagram. But because people started needing this stuff, people would search from all over the country. My clients are anywhere from BC to out east, really. Companies just search up Custom Face Mask Canada. They find my website, and we specialize in that. So I have so many different options for companies to choose from. Every kind of face mask you can think of with their logo on it or fully designed. I
was taking a look at some of them. Some of them are pretty, there's different materials, right? So maybe we can talk a little bit about the masks themselves. What different materials are there, and kind of what is the benefits and detriments to both of them?
Essentially how it worked for me was I had so many clothing suppliers, and they all transitioned to supplying masks. So it worked out for me perfectly, where I could offer pretty much all of the masks available to me. Some we have are just cotton, 100% cotton. Some are 100% polyester, some are blends, some are spandex, some are even bamboo. I offer made in Canada masks as well, because there's a certain clientele that want to buy from Canada. So we print everything here in Canada, but there's some masks that are actually cut and sewn and manufactured here as well. So we kind of offer a lot of colors, a lot of options. Some are adjustable, some are not. On CustomPPE.ca.
That's a huge thing too. You know what? Like, that was something that COVID really shined a light on, is the fact that a lot of our manufacturing and a lot of things that are happening and a lot of the products we consume
are not
aren't
Canadian.
From here. And I know Terrence and Sean, the team leaders of David's and Delot, on their podcast that they came on, I think it was last week, they were talking a lot about how the industrial market in the Niagara region and in Canada itself is going to see a big uptick because of a lot of these manufacturers and a lot of these kind of facilities that we've outsourced to other countries in recent years coming back.
And that's great.
And for sure. So, I mean, you're doing a great thing, because it's not just masks that you're providing for people to obviously try to help our country and stop the spread, but it's also by doing something that's just made in Canada and produced and manufactured in Canada, it's a big help in keeping our economy going, right? Because that's a big concern that a lot of people have had, obviously, going through this as well.
Yeah, this wasn't the route I was planning on taking. I wanted my custom apparel business to take off, but where I'm at right now, I'm dealing with dozens of businesses all across Canada every day. That's exactly what I want to do.
A
I
lot
want
in
to help
Niagara.
businesses.
Have you seen tons in Niagara?
No.
Not as many, eh?
No, I don't think I have one. I have one in St. Catharines actually, that bought from me online.
Yeah.
Found me on Instagram. But we literally deal with companies coast to coast, and I love it.
Yeah.
Learning about their businesses, chatting with them about their needs, what mask would be best for them. It's really fun. I actually really enjoy waking up every morning and dealing with companies, businesses all across Canada.
Well, and hey, that's the other thing that kind of COVID has really started. It's been very beneficial for these people, is anyone who does a lot of business online, right? I mean, people are a lot more hesitant when they're going into these kind of brick and mortar stores now. And, you being able to offer these things online and help people out by, not having to meet someone face to face and potentially be exposed. I'm sure that's probably going a long way in your business as well.
Yeah, e-commerce is a beast, right, on its own. And there's a big learning curve there.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned it in a few months of, how to do it. Where should you be putting your ad money? Into Google, into Facebook, into Instagram? Should you be using search engine optimization? It was kind of a learning curve, and maybe I'm just a pessimist. I didn't think it would take off, but it's taken off.
Yeah. And you know what? I think also we're a little bit behind as well. One of the reasons why maybe not tons of people or businesses, right? Because it's probably majority of businesses, right? There's probably not as many individuals.
Yeah, majority of businesses.
Yeah, so a lot of businesses in the Niagara region, I mean, up until a couple weeks ago, we never even had the mandatory face mask.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm sure that now that that's happening, and you've had this great word of mouth and exposure in the region, I'm sure that you're going to get tons of businesses reaching out to you looking for this kind of products.
And a lot of our ones we've already sent out have repeated orders again.
Yeah.
Because this is not something that's going away anytime soon.
No.
Right? This is going to be a part of people's uniforms.
Yeah.
And they ordered once and they said, well, we need it again. Every few months, maybe we have to order new masks, or we want to expand our masks to a different part of the company.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. How does like cotton compare to polyester? Like, what are some of the different kinds that you offer? Because I know they're all kind of look the same, but I was scrolling through the website there and I did notice that there's different options that you offer. And like, even if I was going to purchase one, like obviously people want it to be relatively easy to breathe in, but also, if it's too thin, your breath's going to go right through it, and it's not really going to help anyone.
These are the questions I kind of hear every day. Why should I get this over this? That's the one negative thing about offering so many masks is, well, what's the difference? Which one should I choose? So cotton is the softest, right? When you feel a cotton mask on your face, it's soft and it's easy to breathe through. Polyester, on the other hand, it's not as soft as cotton, but it's better for sweat, right? It's more expandable. It's maybe not as comfortable on your face, but it could be more protection on your face.
Yeah. So I think probably if you're going to be doing anything that's physically demanding, or you think it's going to be very hot out, you probably want to do something that's polyester. It's not going to get soaking wet.
Exactly. For sweat purposes, we've gotten some big companies reach out to us. For example, Gong Show. Okay, they just reached out to us asking us to make a line of masks for their line.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's a kind of an athletic thing that they want to do. So every mask has different uses. For sure. Some we have tie behind the head, some loop around the ears, some are adjustable. Really depends on what the client's going to use it for.
Of course. No, that definitely makes sense. You know what? It's something that I think everyone should do, whether you believe in it or not, whether you think it's working or not. I mean, hey, it's not going to hurt, right? And I think now, especially with everything that's going on and with kind of some of these restrictions being lifted, you're going to see more and more of it, especially in office buildings and people that have to, like, even in real estate, right? In our office, just a couple weeks ago, they made that announcement that everyone has to wear masks outside. And thank goodness. I mean, we've been careful in who we've been exposed to, so we're able to sit, 6 feet apart and talk. But a lot of people don't have that same kind of.
Yeah, I'm a big data guy, so that was my schooling was data and statistics, and so having that all implemented on my website, CustomPPE.ca. It's really funny because, for example, Calgary, right? They announced one day that they're having mandatory masks, That same day, there's a massive spike, all from Calgary, right? I'm getting 20 orders, all from Calgary, all of them calling me up saying, we need masks right now. That's really funny like that.
How does it work as far as pricing goes? Like, I mean, I've seen different things. You see ones that are branded with some of these big designers and stuff like that. If you're buying one mask, just a regular, even if it's branded, unbranded cotton mask versus some of these companies that are purchasing thousands of them.
Yes.
And I mean, a lot of people might find this of interest because you never know. Some people might want to give some for their family members. The price versus one, if you're spending $20 a mask, like I've seen some of these advertised at, it's not affordable for a lot of people, right? I mean, we're going through a tough time, the economy, people are unsure of their futures. What is the kind of the most cost efficient way of going about getting stuff, even not for just businesses, but even for families?
So if you're a person or a family, we sell all of our masks in 5-packs. So that's the minimum order is 5 pieces, and all of our masks come in 5-packs. So if you just want a blank mask, black or youth or adult, actually that's another thing we didn't say. We offer them in different sizes as well, in different colors. So we sell them in 5-packs. We call them mask packs. Patent pending on that one. Other than that, all of our masks that we sell customized, we also sell blank. So say you saw this really nice mask that we usually do 100 pieces of, you can buy those blank.
Okay.
And even if you are a business and you want custom masks, our minimums are the lowest in the industry. Our minimums are only 12 pieces if you want a customized mask. And because we do all of our production in-house, we ship out all of our masks within 1 week.
That's awesome.
And that's absolutely the lowest you're seeing in Canada, and that's why customers love it. The company says masks are mandatory tomorrow. We need masks this week.
Well, think about for the first few weeks, you couldn't toilet paper is one thing, but you couldn't find masks anywhere.
No,
and they were
even the
telling
disposable
everyone,
ones.
and I think that's kind of what happened is they were saying, no, don't worry about the masks. The masks aren't really that important. But I think what they were trying to do is just really preserve a lot of these for most of the people that are out there.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. And you know what? I'm glad that, someone who was born and raised in Niagara and is a local is able to contribute to something that's
it's really good. These companies need it, and they might have to wait 6 weeks from another supplier to bring them in from overseas, and we're making everything right here in Niagara. So if you are a business or even your individual or family that needs masks, blank or custom, head over to our website, www.CustomPPE.ca. And you'll see a ton of options for you to choose from at great prices too. We offer volume discounts.
Can you get one with my face just printed on the side as well?
Right, it'll be your face will be on my face, right? We'll put your mouth right here.
I love it. Yeah, so you know what? Tell me about some of the companies that you've been working with, because I know you mentioned that you're doing a lot across Canada, and there's a whole bunch of big businesses that are obviously looking for a significant amount of masks, and maybe there's a shortage out there. They haven't been able to find them in other places.
Yeah, well, that's the beautiful thing about being online. You can do work for anyone in the world, really. So when we first launched, it's interesting because you kind of see traffic from where the competition is a little less. So, for example, most of my customers are not in Ontario or Toronto. Most of them are from out west or out east. A lot of Nova Scotia and a lot of BC and Alberta.
And you touched on that's because they were also kind of mandatory before we were.
But we've done work for companies like Bell Canada, BC Place Arena, Unifor, the Union, Global News, actually a lot of different unions across Canada because they just kind of give them away, a bunch of CUPE ones, SEIU, which is healthcare administrators, and they keep coming. There's things that businesses I didn't even know. So out west, even in Quebec, there's a pasta chain. We have pizza chains and sub chains. And they have a pasta.
Why are we slacking? What's going on?
I know. It's called Mia Pasta, right? Whoever is watching or listening, go look up Mia Pasta. MIAPASTA. Mia Pasta. I thought when this order came in, I thought it was actually a joke. I'm not lying to you. Go look. You'll see what their logo looks like. I thought it was actually a joke. I thought someone just scribbled on paint and uploaded their logo because they have to upload something. But no, this is a legitimate chain, and we made masks for them.
I can't believe I went to school. I was there for years out west in Vancouver, and I've never heard of them. And honestly, I think I'm gonna have to do some research, find the closest location, and order.
I think it's Quebec, but
one day priority mail should still be all right.
Yeah, Mia Pasta. A little shout out to one of our clients.
That's amazing.
Subway, we've done stuff for Subway.
Yeah.
I said Global News. It's really interesting, just the broadness of clients that come on our website and order.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's you're probably seeing a significant amount of bigger businesses, because when you're buying in bulk, obviously the prices are going to be a lot more affordable.
Yes.
But also, like, they're the ones that especially have to keep an eye on their public image and make sure that, for liability issues, I'm sure as well, not spreading anything. In case.
For example, like car dealerships. We've done a bunch of car dealerships across Canada because A, you know, their sellers want to wear them, but B, they give them out as freebies.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess you can say about real estate. Are real estate agents wearing these now when they're going to do showings and stuff like that? How is that working?
I mean, it's one of those things where obviously everyone has a different kind of perspective on things, and some people take it more seriously than others. I would say the majority of them are. I mean, I do. I know. I think I can speak for most of our team when we say whenever we go into a showing, we usually do. If the property's vacant, you have a little bit more leeway as far as, you know, whether you can wear it under your nose a little bit, as long as you're far away from your clients. But everyone's comfort levels are different as well. I think it's probably best, as far as all realtors go, to hand sanitize when you get out of your car before you even touch anything. Obviously, avoid touching your face as much as possible. Having some kind of mask on, whether it be, you know, a disposable one, a reusable, washable one. I even had an N95 one for a little while, but I didn't want to reuse it too much. And then just be careful, right? You try to keep your distance from people. Try not to touch things that, you know. I know open houses, they had them canceled for a while, but when phase 3 opened up, they actually just reopened open houses. I know a lot of agents are kind of hesitant on whether or not they want to expose their sellers as well as any potential buyers to that, because you can't vet anyone, right? You got people coming in off the streets. You have no idea where they've been. It's a little bit difficult. You can have them sign in just to track who's been there, but if there is some kind of breakout, then I mean, keeping track of them, it's going to help prevent spreading it further, but you still don't want to expose anyone to that if you don't have to. Right?
But all that, even when it was not even phase 1 yet, that didn't even slow down sales.
No, sales have actually been going crazy, especially in St. Catharines. I can speak to, because there's I believe it was last week, 49% of the listings that sold went at or over asking price.
I saw you posted that.
Which is wild,
crazy.
Right? Like, we're seeing numbers that we used to see in like 2017, early 2017, when the market was pretty much at the highest it's been in the last few years. But even just recently, like actually when you got here, I was talking to Sean about this property that got listed in North End St. Catharines. It was listed at $474,000. And we were saying, you know, it's going to go over asking for sure. Sold for $557,000, which is like even $30,000 more than what I think it's worth, to be honest. But hey, like there's a shortage of inventory right now because people are scared. They don't want to have people come through their houses. But it's not just that. It's also, there's a lot of people that just don't want to be in big cities anymore. That's
it, because they don't have to be, right? If you don't have to go into your office in downtown Toronto, why wouldn't you? And that's why the Cottage Country sales are exploding as well, I've heard.
Yeah. So even, the cottage, like even looking to rent cottages, a lot of those places are getting purchased for people to use for their families, but also for investment, right? Because you know now, for the next several years until this kind of dissipates, so hopefully it does, there's going to be people that just don't want to leave the country. And they're going to be renting real estate in vacation homes within probably even their province, let alone country. Because then you avoid going on the airplane and stuff like that, right? So those sales have skyrocketed. Pretty soon they're going to be seeing double-digit increases, I'm sure.
Do you think the sales in the big markets, the urban centers like Toronto, do you think there's going to be less demand because people are moving out of the city?
You know what? It's hard to say. I've seen, even personally, quite a few people moving to this area from Toronto, and thank God they're all wearing masks when they come down, and you know, I do the same for them.
Well, that's another story at Clifton Hill. I mean, we've had some issues down there so far.
Well, yeah, like your family has a couple businesses down in that area as well, so you're probably down there and you get to see quite a bit.
We sell masks there too.
Yeah. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Yeah, I mean, we have some souvenir stores, and we put up the big sign saying, face masks sold here, and we're selling like hundreds of those things down there, because you know what? Not all the people coming in have face masks, even from Toronto or elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's actually hit. We can talk about tourism another day.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate what it's done to tourism.
Yeah, and I know I've even seen something that they're doing mandatory testing for a lot of the people that work on Clifton Hill and in that tourist kind of district now, which I think is a good thing. But it's also, people can argue that it's kind of invasive on the people that are working there. But hey, it's a trade-off, right?
It's a trade-off. Do we want tourism? Do we want business? School soon, right? That's another thing maybe we can touch on. is, whether they do phased openings or half online or half in person, face masks are not mandatory in Ontario.
Yeah.
From grades 4 and above.
Yeah.
Right?
And can you imagine 8 hours? And I know a lot of people working are already doing that, but it's something that people are going to have to become accustomed to, right? And that's why I was talking about the different materials, because it's one thing when you're just wearing it to go inside of a grocery store. Yeah, who cares, right? When you're wearing it for 8, 10, 12 hours, like realistically, it has to be comfortable. And that's one of the reasons I stopped using the N95. Well, because first I wore it to the end of its life, but they're not very comfortable. No. And they're difficult to breathe in.
You know what? This is such a new industry. Everyone's learning, including myself.
Yeah.
Nurses have been doing this forever. So maybe we should go to them for some advice. But
thank you to them.
What they've learned is that, when you're wearing a mask for 12 hours, and I mean literally 12 hours, it's going to hurt your ears. I don't think it matters what that material is made out of. That mask is hurting your ears every day for 12 hours. Yeah. So, have you heard of ear savers?
No.
Okay. So, it's a kind of plastic material, and it goes behind your head and holds the string of the mask behind your head, so that it's never actually touching behind your ears. It's held up behind your head, and you can tighten it on the ear saver.
So it's almost like the things that hold your glasses in place.
Yeah, so it goes behind your head and holds both sides of the string so that it's touching your head and not your ears, and you can tighten it or loosen it.
Yeah.
It's a secret that nurses have been doing forever, that now we're just learning.
See, so there's lots of little nuances that you can kind of get into. And I think, honestly, as the months go on, and hopefully by next year things are kind of a little bit resolved, but I have a feeling there's still going to be, the residual effect of this, and hopefully we can all kind of learn from what's happened so far and apply that to our actions and our behavior going forward, and try to kind of just nip this thing in the bud.
Companies are preparing. For example, one of our big clients is a hospital system, right, out in the Toronto, Burlington, Oakville area.
Yeah.
And they order 10,000 masks. Now, these are non-medical masks. These are cloth face coverings. But they want to protect their community.
Yeah.
So they're giving these out to every single visitor, every single patient that's in the hospital. I think that's great. Right? With their logo on it. That's awesome.
Are you able to touch on, how much per unit is something if you buy 10,000 of it?
I don't want to say exactly what these are private numbers, but when you're buying 10,000 units printed with your logo on it, you're definitely paying less than if you're only getting 12.
Yeah.
Right? So, and they're good. They've got procurement departments and people that, even other big companies we've done, they've got people that are just negotiating these things all day long.
So they're affordable. There's really no excuse for any business to be like, oh, this is kind of something that's not in our budget.
No, it's cheaper than a custom T-shirt.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a business and you want something for your customers or even for your staff, all you have to do is order 12 pieces. And 12 pieces start at $12 each. And then go anywhere as low as $4 each if you're buying them in bulk.
Yeah.
Right? With your logo. It's branding too. What I say is a lot of businesses started off by, when these first became mandatory, giving out the disposable blue ones at the door. Right? I said, well, you're going to do that and you're going to pay up to $1 a mask for those blue ones.
I've seen that, yeah.
Why don't you pay a couple dollars more, get something with your logo on it? Now it's advertising, it's marketing. And
they're going to reuse it. And it's also more sustainable as well for our environment, right?
Yeah.
I've been seeing tons of these, especially since they made it mandatory, tons of these disposable blue masks all over
in
the
the
place,
grocery store parking lot, everywhere.
It's disgusting. Right? People need to throw them out, but even better, get a reusable one, right?
If you're a business, buy some masks, give them out to your customers, then they're promoting your brand and they're being safe while they're inside your business.
Yeah. It looks good.
I think this will turn into more of a marketing thing. We're doing something for a beer company, right, with the beer logo on it, whatever the brand may be, and they're giving it to all the bars in Quebec that distribute their beer. Branding.
Genius.
Right? So it's becoming more than just safety. It's actually safety plus marketing.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we're headed.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Advertising's not cheap either. And to be able to, do something that's going to help our world, as well as, promote your business, I think it's something that a lot of people should be doing. And I think, we're going to have a conversation. I might have to buy a couple 100,000 masks from you.
Yeah, I think Remax might have to place an order soon.
I think so
for some
as well.
Remax masks, I think so.
All right, Harish. Well, thanks so much for coming and chatting with me about this.
Yeah,
obviously, I found a lot of value. I didn't know too much about this stuff. I know we touched on it briefly before we decided to talk about it today, but it's been fantastic. And honestly, I think a lot of people are going to find a lot of value in what you're doing right now.
Yeah, Custom PPE Canada is my company. Find us online at CustomPPE.ca.
Social media?
Yeah, social media on Instagram. We love Instagram. We're young, right? I know you do. You're
do.
big on the
I
Instagram
try.
on yours. So yeah, it's just at CustomPPE.ca, also on Instagram, and you can see some really cool pictures of other jobs that we've done.
Yeah, no, I was taking a look. It looks very professional. I could tell you spent a lot of time on
Get
that.
the portrait mode
yeah,
on the
I love
camera.
it.
Gotta get the lighting just right.
Yeah, no, I love it. Well, thanks a lot, Harish.
Yeah, thanks,
and yeah, we're signing off for now, but thanks for listening to What's Up Niagara, and we'll see you soon.